All right, welcome into Hendrix Rocket League. This is the third place match for Hendrix College. It will be a best of 7, so the first team to 4 games will win. Starting off here with almost a goal for Hendrix. Close, but not in. All right. Ooh, ball rolling out. Saved by Cloak, actually. Saved the own shot, tries to pass the teammate, doesn't work out there. Pineapple 50s this ball out here. Pineapple gets bumped, as you can see. Cloak taking it mid for Hendrix, taking it out here. Swing and Saturn ends up going mid here for Pineapple. Pineapple puts a bounce shot that is going to be off target, though. Double miss there from the opposing team as Saturn's able to get that ball. Ooh, floating in, able to save it out there for, this is UNC-Charlotte on the other team. Cloak for UNC. Saturn is able to get a touch there. Little bit of a bump there. Bump again by Pineapple. Spring on Saturn looks to get bumped during that shot. Euphoria taking a shot, bumping X-Lops, and it's just going to be a dunk in there from, we're going to call him Otham C. Or OT. Yeah, OT just able to get that ball in. As you do see UNC-Charlotte taking this 1-0 lead in this first game. Ball over to Cloak. Floating up with a reset. I'm not going to do much with that. You do see Hendrix double committing there. Ball over into this Hendrix corner. For Euphoria here on the wall. Taking it off. Gonna be unable to get it over Saturn. Saturn going for another touch. Gets it. X-Lops there to follow it up. Gets a demo along with that. Passes it mid for Pineapple, and Pineapple just slots it in. Pineapple ties up the game there with about 2:15 left in this game. Good play there by Hendrix and X-Lops to get that awesome pass. Ball goes up onto this sidewall here for X-Lops. X-Lops unable to beat the UNC-Charlotte player, though. OT does try to put it on. Cloak does get a little bit of a fake. Sitting here, though, for Pineapple. He's going to get dunked by Euphoria. Spring on Saturn does have time. He's going to take it up this wall. Puts it a little bit off. Ends up getting pushed out there by UNC. Ball, X-Lops tries to take a little bit slow. Does bounce up here. OT putting it down for Saturn to get the easy save. Back mid here for Cloak. Cloak is going to put that off target. If he puts that on, I think that is a goal. X-Lops popping it up over one. Gets a touch there. Into the middle. Spring Out Saturn just puts it in. Looks like a lot of chaos there for UNC-Charlotte, and Saturn just cleans it right up. Yeah, Cloak gets a little bit awkward on that wall, and then no one else is able to get there before Spring on Saturn, actually. Hendrix takes the 2-1 lead here. Ball floating around here. X-Lops gonna beat OT to the ball. Gonna get pushed out here, though. Euphoria taking it on this wall. Is gonna get almost dunked there by Pineapple into the net. Saturn putting it mid. Floating. Gonna try to put that on, unable to though. Ball floating for Spring on Saturn to make that easy save. Pineapple taking it up this wall. Low boost. Euphoria is going to beat him there. OT is going to try to get a double off that wall. Unable to. Bump Spring on Saturn though. Cloak. 50 Spring on Saturn to the mid here for Euphoria. X-Lops is able to get the read though. Can X-Lops? X-Lops unable to put that further on target though. Ball over into the wall for X-Lops. Putting it back mid. Euphoria takes a shot, and it looks like Cloak got the demo on Saturn to get that goal in. Yeah, X-Lops, really unfortunate. Essentially a pass there, and yeah, Saturn gets demoed and leaves no one back there for Hendrix. As you do see UNC-Charlotte taking that goal back to tie it all up. 30 seconds left here, so plenty of time for both teams to score. Otherwise, we do go to sudden death overtime. Ball floating in, and you see UNC-Charlotte just scoring there. Unfortunate there for Hendrix. Giving up 2 goals in about 10 seconds. Losing that 2-1 lead. Now down a goal. Ball does go over on to the side for Saturn. Does get bumped by his teammate Pineapple. It goes into the mid there just for Euphoria. Euphoria unable to put that on target though. Gives Hendrix a second life. Pineapple. There's a 50 to the mid. Up here for Saturn. This is going to be rolling down the wall. Probably not what they were expecting. Pineapple unable to even get the touch. The ball does not in fact go in the net, but UNC-Charlotte does win the game nonetheless. Unfortunate there for Hendrix as they do take that 2-1 lead and then end up dropping it to lose this first game. Will be a game down in the series, but tons of time to come back. You do see 9 total saves there from the Hendrix side, 5 from Saturn and 4 from X-Lops. Pineapple gets most of the shots on target for Hendrix, but no saves for him. Pineapple taking the ball here. Is unable to get around to OT though. Ooh, ball is going to be saved out there by Euphoria. X-Lops unable to get enough of a touch on it. This one's floating. Is going to be saved there again by OT. It may have been off the post anyways. X-Lops gets a touch there. Is going to be left here though for Pineapple. Off this wall. Gets a really good read there as the ball does go into the middle though for Euphoria. Cloak gets a 50 off of X-Clops over into Pineapple, who puts it back into the UNC corner. Euphoria going to take this here. Saturn is going to be able to beat him to the ball, though. Saturn puts this mid. X-Clops gets a nice touch to take it back to this wall. Pass down. Cloak is able to break it up, though. Cloak gets it up there. If Pineapple can put a shot, he does. And it's just going to go in. Cloak stops Saturn from getting it. Pineapple gets there, takes the shot, and it looks like that went off of Cloak and in. I think if Cloak doesn't touch that, that may be a save from UNCC, but as it stands, Hendrix is up 1-0 a minute into this game. X-Lops puts it right into the UNCC side. Floating over now to Pineapple in this Hendrix corner. Pineapple does get around Cloak. Is not going to be able to get a second touch, though. X-Lops is going to be off the ceiling. OT is able to get a save out, though. Ball over for OTC in the Hendrix corner. Floating. X-Lops going to get the save on that. Little awkward there on the wall. X-Lops taking it mid. This is going to be off for Euphoria. Does get the demo. Cloak unable to take the shot. OT is going to take the shot, but Pineapple's able to recover by then. Pineapple demos. Euphoria gets demoed for his troubles as well. Saturn, low boost. Unable to get the flick over. Pineapple able to get the ball, though. Almost reads that for a double. Ball does not go in the Hendrix net yet, though. Floating mid here. Cloak takes it into this corner. takes it out, just kind of flipping it up. Saturn low on boost, flicks it over one, gets a bump. Not going to go in the net though. Pineapple gets a nice little touch. All three miss there for UNCC, and it's just going to go in there for Hendrix. Yeah, Pineapple gets a good touch there, and Xlops just able to come in and clean that up. Hendrix goes up 2-0 almost halfway through this game. Kickoff does go to UNCC's way. Euphoria is going to be off. If they can get back unable to, Euphoria does a little bit of a side flip there. Not able to get perfectly. Xlops flicking this up for Cloak. Euphoria is going to take it here. It's going to float into the air again for Euphoria, but Euphoria misses. Lots of misses in this game for UNCC. Double miss there. Xlops is going to put this off. OT is going to be able to get it into the corner, though. Pineapple's there to clean it up, though, for now. Little bit of an awkward situation. Comes out to Xlops. Going down, it bounces instead of rolling. Saturn puts it mid. Xlops unable to get the touch there. Pineapple does get some power, but not able to put it on target. Xlops back mid. Euphoria taking it. Able to get the recovery there. Gonna flick it over Saturn. Does get demoed for his troubles, though. OT tries to lean back and shoot. Unable to. Cloak. Gonna hit it, but it's gonna go straight down. Into this Hendrix corner now for Pineapple. Pineapple is gonna be unable to touch that. And Cloak just puts it a perfect pass up for Euphoria. Yeah, Cloak able to get it off his teammate. Passes it mid, straight to Euphoria, and Saturn's just completely not ready for it as UNCC brings this deficit to 1 with about 1:25 left here. We've had a goal about every quarter of the match, so we may see a goal right towards the end here. Swing on Saturn. Does put it mid here for OT. Floating up. Pineapple just going to take it slow. Going to get another touch here. This is going to be off for OT. OT off the wall. Gets a nice little touch. Euphoria unable to get it around Xlops, though. Saturn gets the save there. Going to be able to follow up on this. Taking it slow. Unable to get it over Cloak, though. Well, Pineapple misses that. Euphoria is going to be able to take this. Saturn gets a nice touch on it. Cloak gets an awkward touch. Back to the mid. Here, Pineapple is going to be able to get around OT and get that boost. Unable to get around to Euphoria, though. Over to Saturn. Pinches it. This may just be in. Euphoria is able to save it. Pineapple gets it over Euphoria, though. It's going to sit here for Cloak. Unable to get around Saturn, though. Euphoria flicks over one. Unable to get around Pineapple, though. Down here for Pineapple. He just tries to get the 50. Ends up faking out his opponent. Counting down the seconds here. Saturn misses or fakes. Xlops touches it. Saturn just needs to take a shot. It's going to be off. Going to fall down here, though. Euphoria is able to keep it up, actually. Cloak and OT combine. Saturn is able to get the touch there to put it down, though, as Hendrix takes a game back in the series to tie it up 1-1. Do see a lot less saves there from Hendrix. Only 4 coming out this game. Much better offensive presence to force UNCC to make less shots on goal. Do see 3 shots coming out from each Hendrix player, so much better offensive pressure there as well, getting those shots on target. As we are tied up 1-1, this game is extremely important to go back up a game in the series, so we'll see who ends up winning this game and takes that lead. Kickoff over onto the UNCC side for Saturn, who's taking it off this wall. Pineapple tries to run some interference, but 2 people do commit there for UNCC. Xlops is able to get around those 2 for now. Euphoria is taking it as Xlops does get that full boost, though. Saturn running some interference, does get the touch. Over to Pineapple. Pops it up. Euphoria off the back wall here for X-Clops. OT is actually able to beat X-Clops with that ball. Saturn unable to get up before that hits the back wall. Is going to get saved by Saturn, though. Double save there for X-Clops. Over here, back to X-Clops. Pineapple hits it. Good try for a team play. Good bump by Pineapple. Cloak unable to get it around X-Clops. OT does miss there. Passes it mid here for Euphoria. Pops it up over one. Does get it around Pineapple, and that's just going to roll in. Yeah, over one around Pineapple, and it looks like X-Clops just may have missed boost. Wasn't able to get there in time to save it, but really good play there by Euphoria to go up 1-0 in this game about a minute in. Ball over here to Saturn. This is going to be off the top. Thought it may have been on target. Was mistaken. X-Clops unable to get the second on that one. Pineapple does try to clean it up, but unable to. Over here to Euphoria. Saturn does get a bump on Euphoria, though. It does go to Cloak. And Pineapple unable to make the save. Euphoria just completely wins that kickoff there for UNCC. X-Clops able to get the ball out for now. Does put it a little bit back into harm's way there. Saturn able to get it pushed out. Euphoria putting it back on his side, but Cloak missing there. Hendrix has an opportunity, but two players miss, it looks like, for there. Saturn gets it around, at least for now. Floating mid here, Euphoria. Running out of boost, but does get that musty to save that from going in. Do see OTC waiting for this ball, trying to put it as mid as possible. And X-Clops, just really unfortunate touch, goes straight into Cloak there. OT actually gets bumped by his teammate a little bit, helps. And X-Clops able to get a touch, but Cloak just reads it perfectly and gets it around X-Clops on that second. Ball over onto this side is going to end up floating back to the mid for Saturn. Takes a shot. It's going to be easily saved, unfortunately. Ball floats back for X-Clops. X-Clops unable to put that ball on target. Good pressure, though, so far from Hendrix. Pineapple is able to get that ball in, though. Pineapple gets the goal back. 2 goals down here with 2:45-ish left. Really good play there by X-Clops. Ends up knocking 2 players out through that, and so Pineapple able to clean it up there. Ball over onto the Hendrix side, but X-Clops is in a perfect position. This goes straight mid, pops up probably on accident. Do see OT get a good touch there off the wall. Well, Pineapple puts it right off of the top of OT's car. Do see Spring on Saturn getting a good touch to put this ball back down to the mid, but OT is there first. Ball bouncing back to the middle. Spring on Saturn, low boost, is able to get a pad and to get a 50 out of Euphoria there. Pineapple off the wall, unable to get around Cloak though. X-Clops is able to get that nice bump and demo on Cloak. This is going to be off for now. Saturn trying to take over. Ball coming out. Good bump there by Saturn though, as Saturn starts running out of boost. Get some boost there actually from those pads. Cloak back to his teammate Euphoria. Pineapple is able to get around Euphoria though. Cloak able to get this save back into the corner though. Floating around here. Euphoria puts it back mid. Pineapple not expecting it, was not able to turn around and take a shot. OT gets a little double off that wall. Euphoria keeping it on this corner for now. Saturn to Cloak, who just tries to bump it out. Floats back to this mid. X-Clops is going to beat UNCC there. Saturn has an open net, and he's going to be able to score that to take another goal back here. Hendrix down 1 goal with a minute 15-ish left in this game. Really good show by Hendrix in this third game. Going down 3-0, fighting back 2 goals so far. Got to get 1 back in this 1 minute 17 seconds to at least try to force overtime. Ball gets deadened. Saturn is able to get it and follow it. Gets it around here, but Hendrix is not going to have a player in the mid, unfortunately. Ball floating up here. Cloak tries to go for it, unable to. Saturn saves that shot by Euphoria. Pineapple trying to get it around. He's going to get saved out. Xlops taking it over onto the wall. Low boost, though, so UNCC is going to be able to get to the ball first. Xlops, good to get a touch there. Floating mid, OT over into the net, and Cloak is going to just make sure that goes in. Yeah, 50's out here. OT gets a touch around Saturn, and Cloak, just to make sure that ball goes in, is going to touch it in, and the lead extends back to 2 here with 40 seconds left. Deadened again. Double deadened. OT is able to clean it up. Saturn gets the save for now, though. Pineapple takes a shot. Euphoria is going to take that save any day. Euphoria back mid. Cloak taking it. Xlops able to get it, though. Do see Pineapple getting demoed in the back. Saturn unable to touch it. Xlops rotating through. About 10 seconds left here for Hendrix. Will, in fact, be a Game 3 loss, unfortunately. Can they fend off this attack and maybe get a goal for the road? Pineapple going to redirect, unable to. Xlops taking a shot. It's going to be off. And Euphoria actually just hits an own goal. Interesting play there. It ends the game. You're not going to lose, but it does, in fact, give Hendrix this momentum. May put a little bit of doubt into this UNCC mindset. UNCC does win, go up 2-1 in the series, but Hendrix has shown some fight. Do you see the same amount of saves that are coming out from Hendrix, but more shots on target there from UNCC in that game? You do see Xlops at the top of that leaderboard, 1 goal to 0 shots because of that own goal by Euphoria. Really interesting stat line there. You've got something in every slot other than shots. Don't see that very often. As we do get into this Game 4 right now. Ball gets deadened, does end up going to UNCC, though. You get it off this back wall. Unable to get it in, though. Saturn does demo the shot taker. Pineapple ends up getting it mid. Saturn takes a shot. Is going to be saved by OT. Hendrix trying to keep that pressure. Euphoria is able to get it to the mid line, though. Xlops goes up, tries to run a little bit of interference. Saturn bumps it over to Pineapple. Sorry. Back to the mid for Saturn. Euphoria takes it off this wall. Xlops does miss, ends up forcing a miss out of Euphoria. Cloak able to get the save there from that Saturn shot. Floating mid, you do see Pineapple flying through there. Double commit there from Hendrix. Pineapple turns around. That's going to be off target. Saturn is not able to put it in. Double miss there from Hendrix. Really unfortunate. Could have gone up a goal. Unable to. Euphoria, unable to fully get that out. It is floating. Pineapple trying to get some bumps. Unable to. Xlops gets that as it starts to go out. Ball does go on the Hendrix side. Pineapple tries to pinch it back. It does go to Saturn, but Euphoria's got it for now. Xlops unable to fully put that in as OT makes a great save. Euphoria hits it straight into Saturn. Pineapple tries to get a little bit of redirect, unable to though. Going mid here. Pineapple off the wall gets that low boost, just putting some power. Euphoria going to get the save. Saturn up off that wall. Xlops flips but unable to get there. Pineapple is able to make that save for now. Saturn getting out. Ball floating over to the Hendrix backboard. Euphoria unable to get a double tap. All missing there by Hendrix. OT takes a shot right into Xlops though. Euphoria off the wall. Gets one. Is going to get the slip reset. Is going to put it straight into Xlops though. Do see a double commit as Hendrix is trying to get that ball out. Xlops over to Pineapple in the corner. OT gets it around. Saturn is going to be able to lead it out for now. Pineapple gets a touch. Can he? He cannot get it around OT as the ball is going to float around on this left mid side. X-Slops just booming it for now. Puts it past mid. Euphoria is going to be able to get there, though, for the save. Euphoria running some interference. Going to try to redirect. Unable to. Ball over to Pineapple. Off this wall, off the ceiling. Is going to be able to get a shot off that top, but it is just going to go back to this UNCC team. Pineapple getting it a touch there after a really good team setup for UNCC. Euphoria over 1 is going to be off target. That 50's off of Pineapple in the air. Cloak is going to be able to. Is he? He is. That ball is going to go in. OT is going to be the one who scores it. But really unfortunate there's Pineapple, as he's falling, hits the ball backwards, and it leads to this goal. Really unfortunate and unlucky there for Hendrix. Ball going back over to this Hendrix side. Cloak puts it mid, and OT is just going to clean that up. Hendrix completely not expecting that touch. Yeah, Cloak able to just get there perfectly, and OT just cleans that ball up to go up 2-0 in the span of a couple seconds. Hendrix putting pressure here. UNCC is able to hold off for now. Spring on Saturn following this ball. Really awkward landing. Wasn't able to recover. Do see OTC taking a shot, and Saturn's not going to get back in time. UNCC takes a 3-goal lead here with 1:10 left in this game. Ball over into the Hendrix corner for Pineapple. Pineapple taking it out. Is going to go and stay on this Hendrix side for now. Shot is going to get saved there by Pineapple. Saturn's going to get demoed there. X-Slops gets a touch around Cloak, but unable to put it on target. Pineapple over 1. It's going to bounce out for Cloak. Saturn flicks it up. Cloak going to get it around. X-Slops gets a touch. Low boost. Unable to get enough power on it, though. Do see Pineapple off the wall here. Can he make something of this? Gets a flip. Actually, I don't think he got the flip. I didn't see the little circle. X-Slops is able to get the ball in for now. So you do see UNCC Hendrix getting one back here on UNCC. 21 seconds left here for Hendrix to get 2 more goals. Kickoff is deadened, but it's just going to go on the Hendrix net there. Somewhat of a kickoff you want, but it ends up going towards that UNCC side, and then Euphoria is just able to pop it over Pineapple, and no one is able to be back there for Hendrix. UNCC takes back that 3-goal lead, and Hendrix is most certainly going to lose this game.
What's the set score?
With Hendrix most likely losing this game, Pineapple does take one back, but it will most likely be a 3-1 lead in the series for UNCC. Good goal there by Pineapple. 9 seconds left to get 2 goals. Highly unlikely, but it is in fact possible. Kickoff must go the way of Hendrix, though. Does for now, and it's not going to. Do see this clock ticking down. Hendrix is going to in fact lose this game. Can Hendrix get another one back at 0 seconds, though? Ball is staying alive for now as Saturn takes it out. This ball is just going to end up hitting ground, I think. Pineapple able to save it, actually. Taking it up this wall. I didn't able to really do much with it else, and it's just going to hit that ground there. And so Hendrix does, in fact, lose this game will fall in the series 3-1. Hendrix has to rattle off 3 games here if they want to come back and win this series to win this third place match. Hendrix was in this position last week in their semifinal match. Were able to rattle off 2 wins, but then did lose pretty handily in that game 7. So we'll see if they're able to repeat at least that comeback. But UNCC has been dominating most of this series. Do see the same amount of shots coming out for both teams, but an extra save there for UNCC, and a couple of those shots just being barely off target for Hendrix in this game. UNCC was close to almost a perfect scoreboard there. Needed an assist on OT and a goal from Cloak to get that perfect scoreboard, but unable to. As we do go into this game 5 here, it is a must-win for Hendrix. Got to win this one and 2 more just to win the series, but got to start with 1. Kickoff is going to go onto this Hendrix side. Saturn is able to save it out for now, but Euphoria is just able to get that ball in, and we're 6 seconds in, and UNCC is up 1 goal. Yeah, unfortunate kickoff. 2 of Hendrix players were going for it, and then Saturn was able to get the save, but no one was able to get back in time. Ball does go over to Xlops this time. Is going to start on this UNCC side. OT pops this ball up. Euphoria is going to be able to get this ball off the wall. Is going to be able to get it over Xlops, and that's just going to be in the net. Pouring some salt in that wound, you do see OT getting a demo on Pineapple. Yeah, Xlops unable to get up in time, and Pineapple gets demoed after the ball's already gone over him. Do see UNCC going up 2-0 within the first 20 seconds of this game. Ball going over to the Hendrix side to start. Euphoria up again. Saturn is able to get it away from him for now. Cloak off this wall, gets a touch. Euphoria takes a shot, but it is going to be saved by Xlops. Xlops putting it mid for Pineapple. Pineapple takes a shot, and that's just going to be in. Hendrix does take a goal back here. See Xlops off this wall, putting it straight down for Pineapple, and Pineapple just gets really good power, as Cloak was not expecting that ball to go in towards that net. Ball over to the Hendrix side, but Xlops is there to put it onto this UNCC side. Euphoria able to take it out. 1-on-1 here. Saturn is able to make the save there. Ball floating back. Cloak gonna be off. Save for Xlops. OT just floats it back up. Cloak tries to get it, unable to. Saturn takes a shot there. Pineapple gonna run some interference and gets that demo. Hendrix ties it all back up. Minute in here, 2 goals for both sides. Saturn just tries to put it on, and Pineapple gets that demo to make sure no save comes out of there. Kickoff goes back mid here. Pineapple touches it. This is going to fall down. Cloak is going to get the save, though. OT trying to get it over Saturn. Saturn does try to get that. Unable to. Xlops gets the save for now. Ball floating. Euphoria taking it slow as Saturn gets the save. Pineapple jumping out here. Gets the ball and the boost. Comes down. Is unable to get over OT, though. Saturn into this corner. Takes the ball around 1. Puts it mid. Cloak is there to put it back into this UNCC corner. Xlops taking a shot right into Euphoria. Ball bouncing mid here for Pineapple. Goes straight to Euphoria. Goes back into this other corner here for UNCC. OT gets the ball over Saturn. Floating in. Cloak unable to get the touch. He wants to redirect that, so Pineapple gets the save. Pineapple demos Euphoria as they were trying to take it up that wall. Xlops. Cloak 50s him. Up here for OT into the Hendrix corner. Pineapple getting it out into the middle for now. Gets it around Euphoria now. OT almost own goals, does push it back for Cloak. X-Lops puts it over by the net. Saturn unable to get that touch into the shot though. Pineapple 50 by Euphoria here, as Euphoria is off this wall. Air dribbling is going to get around to X-Clops. Looks like Pineapple is also going for that. Saturn off this back wall does get a touch to save a goal. Cloak touching this back for the mid. Hendrix, a little bit of miscommunication there. Pineapple is able to get it out for now. Euphoria pops it up. Saturn tries to go high, but Euphoria goes low. Pineapple is able to get the save for now, though. Ball straight back to the mid. Over here for X-Lops, taking it slow. Gets it around one, but Euphoria pops it up off the back wall. Floating into this Hendrix corner for now. Saturn going to take it. Does get 50 by Euphoria, and that's just going to be right over Pineapple. You see Saturn taking it slow, puts it a little bit farther than he probably wanted, and Euphoria just 50s that right into that top right corner. Hendrix down a goal here, a minute 50 left to try to get back into this game, at least force overtime. Euphoria right off the bat going for that ball. Again going for it, but does miss. X-Lops puts it onto the Hendrix side for now. Gets a bump onto Cloak. Do see Hendrix putting it close to this UNCC net, but not in the net for now. X-Lops back into the corner. OT puts this ball, and that's just going to go in. Hendrix tries to put as much pressure as possible, but UNCC is just able to break out of it, and OT gets right over Pineapple to just slot the goal in. Kickoff over onto this right side. X-Lops gets a touch on it. This may just be in. It is going to be off the top, though. Pineapple is able to get an insane double touch there. I don't think he was expecting to get it, but he does put it in there. A goal back for Hendrix. Pretty crazy there, yeah. Euphoria puts it right. It goes off of the corner, out into Pineapple, into the goal. Hendrix has a minute 13 now to get a goal to force overtime. Saturn able to put this onto the UNCC side for now. Ball floats over to Euphoria, who's going to take it slow. Saturn is able to get a 50, though. The ball goes over into this Hendrix corner for now. OT takes a shot, able to be saved by Hendrix. Euphoria pops it up for his teammate Cloak. Cloak able to get a touch, but that's not on target. Over here for X-Lops, pushing it out. Euphoria popping it mid. Saturn ends up getting it. Saturn trying to get back to this ball. Cloak is going to be able to push it into that UNCC corner. Pineapple back mid, but you do see a demo there on swing on Saturn. Pineapple demos Cloak back for that. X-Lops, this is going to be mid. Saturn unable to put it on target. Looks like maybe X-Lops and Saturn may have bumped each other. Ball going back towards the Hendrix side. Able to get it out, though. 10 seconds left here. Hendrix has to get a goal. Otherwise, they will lose this series. Pineapple over to X-Lops. X-Lops misses. Pineapple going to get the dribble. Gets it over one. Unable to get it around another. Saturn is going to be able to pop this ball up for now. Cloak misses. Euphoria hits it. Cloak able to get it this time, and it's going to go around to X-Lops. And that's going to be game and series there for Hendrix. Hendrix able to win one game, keep most of those games close, but unable to close those games out, and so they do fall to UNCC in this series, 4-1. Thanks for tuning in, and we hope you will join us tomorrow for League of Legends third place match. Good night, y'all.